What's up, guys? In the works, and we are playing some Counter-Strike Go Beta today, and this game is getting super close to the release, and this is just a team deathmatch, or deathmatch is what they actually call it, where there's not really any rules. Basically, you can pick whatever weapon you want when you spawn, and it's a lot of fun. I always used to love playing in these servers when I was in high school. I used to play a lot of Counter-Strike, and I would always get into these giant deathmatch servers where you could just pick any weapon you want and just go to town. And that's what we're doing right here. I actually do fairly decently, considering that I consider myself a very average Counter-Strike player. I've never really been the best. It's always been hard for me to pick up. It's hard to get into that mindset of trying to not move as much while you're shooting in order to, to get better accuracy. But, this beta has been a lot of fun for me. I've been in the beta, I think, going on 6 months now. Actually, one of my subscribers hooked me up with a beta code, and I am forever indebted to him because I did enjoy being in it. I have enjoyed my experiences with it, but the beta has really improved. If you played the beta early on, you'll know that there were a lot of glaring issues. I feel like the game plays very smoothly now, and we're getting really close to release. I think it releases on the 21st. So if you pre-order now, you can actually get access to the beta. So if you're jonesing to play some Counter-Strike and you want to know how to get into the beta, if you pre-order the game right now, you will get a beta code and you'll get access to it. I think you can actually pre-order it on Steam for $13.99, somewhere along those lines. That's a pretty good deal. Granted, this isn't a full retail release. A lot of this is just reskins. It's basically Counter-Strike Source with a nice graphics update. With a few changes here and there, but it's enough to where it's worth it if you consider yourself a Counter-Strike fan. Now, I will say there are a lot of veteran Counter-Strike players that find a lot of problems in this game that still have some pretty glaring issues. Being someone who never took the game that seriously, I can't really comment on that, so I'm going to kind of hold my opinion on that. But overall, I think the beta has improved a lot. It looks like Hidden Path has listened a lot to the community and what the changes they want. It plays a lot smoother. That was one of my problems with the game when I first picked up the beta, is it didn't feel like it was playing very smoothly, and it kind of bugged me because I always remember Counter-Strike being, this baby's bottom smooth playing game, nice and slick. You could go from point A to point B and not have to worry about getting caught on a bunch of things, but I felt like in this beta, I was just getting caught on objects. I was just not moving the way I remembered. And the recoil on the guns seem really more in line with what I remember now. Before, they were just absurdly high. I felt like I couldn't hit anything when I first picked up the beta. Now, granted, it's really tricky to kind of transfer in from playing a lot of Battlefield, playing a lot of Medal of Honor 2010, because I've been playing a lot of that lately, and it's kind of hard to transfer into the mindset that you need to have to play Counter-Strike, because strafing is important in Battlefield. I mean, I don't think that's any secret that you have to strafe in Battlefield, but I found in Counter-Strike, it's kind of the opposite. I mean, in certain situations, obviously, you want to do that, but kind of coming to a stop, aiming your shots and being a little bit more accurate is always going to be the better bet when playing Counter-Strike. Now, don't take advice from me, though. I am no pro. I've only ever played this game casually, and I played it a lot in high school, though. I played a lot of this. I played a lot of Team Fortress Original, if you guys remember that game, which has nothing to do with this game whatsoever, but I was just thinking about the time period. And, I played a lot of Team Fortress 2, in fact, in college, and I've always been a big fan of Valve. I think they've always put out solid titles. Obviously, Team Fortress is one of the biggest successes in games in the past 10 years, at least in my eyes, because, I mean, it was a retail release, which they released that game at such a good value. If you remember, it was part of the Orange Box. Then after that, they increased the value even more by making it free to play. They basically extended the life of that game by a lot, and it was a blast, and that's why I've always kind of respected Valve. They've never really been, I say this lightly because it might offend a lot of people, but they've never been really bad about being greedy. Businesses are businesses. They're meant to make money, but it seems like Valve has always given us really good deals, and even though this is just a reskin, it'll be nice to only have to pay $13 to actually play it. So I will be picking this up. I did notice, though, I've been kind of crippled on buying it because it says Steam seems to think that I already own the game, so unless somebody mysteriously gifted me a copy of Counter-Strike Go, I will need to pre-order it here in the near future. But if you are on console and Xbox, you probably didn't get this far, but if you did, it will be releasing on those. I failed to mention that at the beginning of the video. And this was a game, if you remember, I've played this game in the past. I've posted a handful of videos on it. One of the cool things about it is I actually played this game about a year ago. In fact, it'll be a year ago in next weekend because I was at PAX at the time, and this was one of the big games at PAX, and I spent a lot of time at this booth because I was getting free t-shirts. You know, I rock my Counter-Strike Go t-shirt all the time, and I played it on Xbox at the time though, which was a little bit of a bummer. I wanted to play it on PC, but they only had it on the floor with Xbox, so at the time, I was, you know, I enjoyed the game. I played it and I was like, man, this is actually a lot of fun. I'm pleasantly surprised considering that I'm playing on console. Now, the one thing I noticed was, man, it's a lot harder to aim than what I thought because there's not really auto aim. It's kind of hard to explain, and it's kind of reminded me of how I had to aim in Duke Nukem Forever. It was kind of tricky to get the hang of it, but so if you're an Xbox PS3 guy, it will be coming out on that. They canceled the cross-platform support, so if you've been following the game, you cannot play PC players anymore. They decided to scratch that, but overall, I think this is a fun game. It's not going to revolutionize anything because I think Counter-Strike already did that. You know, they were one of the first revolutionary first-person shooters, but in terms of being a fun game that kind of is a blast from the past without feeling super outdated, I think Counter-Strike Go does that well. You know, the AWP is still a boss. You know, it's still awesome, but I will enjoy this game. You know, I'm impressed with the amount of changes they've made to the game based on community feedback. So, you know, check it out. You know, pre-order it now. You can get a pretty good deal on it. But I will see you guys next time. Peace.